Good morning, YouTube and family and friends. This is Edward. We're back in the real world. We escaped from the hospital there. And literally, that's what it is. I mean, you have to do black ops, freaking nighttime, middle of the night, back stairs, trying to get out of there. Otherwise, it's like a prison. Because here's their protocol, right? First, you have to get doctors have to agree that you can leave the hospital, and the staff have to agree that you can leave the hospital. So it's not even your choice. All you can do is demand that they release you. Then you have to wait till the next day when the cashier and the girls come in to do the books and gain the prices and all that. So we decided like at midnight last night to leave the hospital, and it was just a heart-wrenching. A little boy had come in a couple hours before that was hit by a car. Maybe he was 5 or 6 years old, and compound fracture of one of his legs, and no doctor at night, nothing. And they never call a doctor on call for emergencies like that. He just had to stay in a ward with us, with all kinds of other people, and they pumped full of drugs and just wait until the next day when he could be transferred to wherever they're going to do a surgery and get a hold of the doctor and all that, the surgeon. I mean, I felt so bad for that little boy. He's totally innocent, just a little boy running with a little coin in his hand to the local street side candy shop, right, to get a snack, and running down the edge of the road by his house, and here comes a car right out of nowhere, takes him out. But this driver did stop and called the ambulance and stuff, so he was so sorry, right? And that's the thing. It was a nightmare of mine my whole life. If I ever hit a child with my car, I pray that I never do. And then another guy come in about an hour after that. He was in a motorcycle accident and took his foot clean off, his right foot clean off.
Because he's drunk.
Was he? Oh my God. See, I never knew that, because they all talk Visaya there, right? And I just catch bits and pieces of what's going on. But that guy was, he's a big guy too, big Filipino, probably 200, 250, right in there, drunk, driving motorcycle at night, right? Took his foot right off. Oh, and and it's just like craziness. I thought I could handle it okay, and at times I could, but then here was the kicker. Well, actually, we got to see the doctor. The foot specialist, the surgeon, came in like 7 p.m. at night, right? And actually, I had met him before, and so we went through and talked everything about my foot, what we should do, and we looked at the X-rays and stuff they took on my foot, and the bone is good, everything's good on it. I just have to focus on trying to try different things to kill this infection. And one piece of history came out that I wasn't really thinking about before: fungus. Fungus got in the big nail, for several years before this happened. And then that's when it got way worse, right? 2 years ago. So maybe it has something to do with a bad fungus infection. I don't know, but we're going to try some more different things. I never did amputate my toe. The surgeon did not want to do it, because the bone looked good and everything. It was just a matter of focusing more on killing that infection. And I last time I went, over a year ago, I was just ending my construction of the swimming pool and all the stuff there at my house. So I really couldn't afford just to lay in bed for weeks. Well, now the construction's done. I just have a few little chores here and there to do, so I can focus more on my foot, trying different treatments to try to kill that infection and get that sucker healed up. And he agreed that's what I should do. So anyways, then by midnight, we were back and forth. Okay, do you want to stay? Do you want to what do you want to do, blah, blah, blah. And we were waiting on a private room still because we were in the ward there with 15, 20 people, and, you know, emergencies coming in and out all the time. And it's pretty tough. I mean, just to try to sleep. But the first night we were there, we were able to sleep, you know, a couple hours here and there. It wasn't that bad, but yesterday was super hot, all right, in the low 90s. And then they have a stupid rule at the hospital for these rooms. They have fans, rotating fans on the ceiling, and they have them on a breaker that only 2 of the 4 fans that are in the ceiling for the room, for all the people in there, only 2 can run at a time. Because a long time ago, there was a fire because they had put 4 of the fans on one circuit. So they separated them onto a different circuit and then had made the rule that they can only run 2 of the 4 fans. My God. It was 97 degrees in there all night long, 97 to 99. It was unbearable. I mean, Lilibeth was fanning me with a paper plate like this for a long time during the night, and honest to God, I thought I was going to have a heat stroke. But if those other 2 fans, and because the 2 fans that were running last night, one of them was broke, so you only got then 1 fan. Yeah, it was crazy, and we were begging them, everybody in there begging them, turn on that other breaker, you know, stop this craziness, because it was fine last night, and now you're making us all suffer in a heat stroke situation. So anyways, you know, I sound like I'm complaining, but really, I mean, now I understand in third world countries where poor people are, or even in the U.S. where poor people are in the cities and stuff, in the summertime, if the heat gets so intense, how they could die so easily because their aircon, they don't have aircon, or they just have a tiny inefficient fan that they can't, that's not working well or something, and it kills the old people from heat stroke. So I can see from last night that was like a clue of, oh my God, because I always wondered about that, and now I know. So we made it through the night, and at 6 a.m. then the circuit and timers changed again to the 2 good fans, but then by that time it's almost too late. But actually we got another hour or 2 sleep after 6 a.m. when those fans came on, because it lowered the temperature a good 6-8 degrees, right? So yeah, it's unbelievable experience. I would advise, I mean, I thought I could handle it, and I could have. If it wasn't for that fan situation at the end, I mean, you would not believe, it was just like everything in me wanting to just trying to escape at all costs, even if I got shot by the guard, because they won't let you out of the hospital unless you get all the okays and get all the verifications that it's okay to leave. Then you have to go down to the girls and get the bill, check it over, then pay the bill before they would even take out my my IV losing my voice, sorry, my IV, before I could even take it out. So once I got the bill, I said, screw this. They won't even take out my IV until make an extra trip 3 floors down to the hospital and go pay the bill, then bring that receipt paperwork back up to the girls in the ward, so then they can take out my IV, and then we'd be permitted to leave, because then they give us also an exit slip that you have to, when you're going out of the hospital, you have to give the exit slip to the guards to be able to escape from the prison there, the hospital prison, right? So I said, screw that. I ripped my IV out, I bandaged it myself, and I went down with Lilibeth to pay the bill. We paid the bill, and I walked right out of the hospital. The guards never stopped me or nothing. And then she took the final paperwork back up to the girls, and then took the exit slip back down to the guard, and then we were able to leave. But this is for 2 nights at a public hospital for both Lilibeth and I. 8,004 pesos. Okay, so, and one thing I found out is the ward where all the people are in one room, where it was almost a heat stroke situation for people last night. And I felt so bad for that little boy, right? I mean, luckily he was drugged up so much, and he would have been suffering so bad. And that guy that lost his foot, and his alcohol was wearing off, and he was in pain. He was moaning, pain. Anyway, we're in that ward, okay? And that ward is free. No room charge. So and you have to, all those 15, 20 people have to share a bathroom even. There's a shower in the bathroom, but it's real nasty, right? Well, I've seen worse, but it's not the greatest. But anyway, but it's free. So that's why the bill is so cheap. 8,000 pesos. That's $155, something like that. Is that right? Yeah, something like that. Maybe $160. So it's super cheap. And that was just, we had the dextrose water. I had probably 4 of those. And all the antibiotics that they gave me, intravenous. And they gave us breakfast and lunch and dinner. Very, very tiny amounts and not good at all. We gave that all away, but still. So very, very cheap. So that's what there's no insurance, so it's all just cash, right? So the medicines were 13, almost 1,400 pesos. Supplies, like tubes and all that, 800 pesos. I had 3 x-rays done. That was only 680 pesos for 3 x-rays. And then the lab work was one of the most expensive things. Look at that, 3,900 for lab work, because they took samples of my blood and stuff, right? So that was the highest of all of everything. And then, they actually did charge for people to come in and clean the room, and for probably the breakfasts and the meals they serve, 1,200. So that was 600 a day. So they do charge for that room, but it's very, very minor. And that's, like I say, for breakfast and stuff. So, and then here's all the individual costs that they put into the bill. So yeah, pretty darn cheap, really. But one thing that Lilibeth and I were disgusted of is, no doctor for those people suffering with compound fracture on that little boy, and then that drunk guy that lost his foot. No doctors till the next day. They just drug you up, wrap you up, drug you up, and leave you in a sweltering hot room. We thought that was bad, right, hon? Right? I mean, didn't you feel bad for that little boy?
We always feel bad.
Yeah, I felt real bad for the boy. So anyways, just thought I'd give that clue to you guys, and we're going to do some shopping and head home. We missed the butta. So love you guys. Take care, and God bless. Bye-bye.